Hello, everybody. So, a few articles were brought to my attention regarding Witcher 4, its development cycle, and some other issues that might cause some concern. And I started looking over this, and then I decided that I kind of wanted to do it on video, get my thoughts in order, and present them for you guys so that you can also be informed regarding the situation at CDPR regarding Witcher 4. So one of the things that a lot of people have been talking about is this article right here, which states that CDPR did not consult with the original author of The Witcher regarding Ciri in Witcher 4. So let's read through this, or at least skim through it, and try to understand how true this is, whether this is an actual thing. So we'll open that interview and then look at it after as well. So CDPR has admitted it didn't consult the Witcher series author regarding their decision to make Ciri a Witcher and turn her into the primary protagonist. Okay. I my opinion regarding this statement, personally, is that they already didn't consult him regarding Witcher 1 through 3. If I'm not mistaken, An Andrzej, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but Andrzej pretty much sold the rights to the Witcher series and the Witcher franchise and the Witcher property for pennies. He didn't care. He wasn't super interested. He just didn't care, right? And at the end of the day, he got angry when this property that he gave away pretty much started making a ton of money, and then he tried to get the property back by suing CDPR. He failed, and that's why we have Witcher 1, 2, and 3. So already Sapkowski is not the most likable of individuals. So I completely understand why they wouldn't go to him and ask, hey, is it okay if we do this? Because at this point, he is no longer the owner of the property. He has been overall damaging to the property itself. And it is quite strange to see some of the attitudes that he's had over the years. But let's read through the rest of the article. So, in a recent interview with Eurogamer, the Witcher 4 game director Sebastian Kalemba and narrative director Philip Weber made it clear that the direction they're taking with Ciri's character is not only controversial, but also unsupported by Sapkowski himself. So, when asked directly about the original author's involvement, Kalemba admitted that the man who created Geralt of Rivia had no involvement in the project whatsoever. Actually, he's hands off, but he's not involved in the form of a consultant or whatever. We have a great relationship with him. So we meet with Andrzej from time to time to discuss things. Okay. Despite this claim of a great relationship, she's fucking gorgeous, by the way. I don't see why anybody goes, oh, you made her ugly. Okay, where is the picture of her being ugly? I haven't seen it yet. Despite this claim of a great relationship, to use decision to fully transform Ciri into a Witcher stands at odds with established lore. No, it doesn't. Debate centers around whether Ciri can or should undergo the trial of grasses, the brutal alchemical process to create a Witcher. So, okay. Before I'm continuing to read this, I'm just going to say this. It is established that there is a school of Witchers that does recruit non-humans and women. The Cat School, which was born through a rebellion of the students against the masters. They took over the school and they became the Cat School, right? This is something from the very old. Some people have called it a fan project, but it wasn't a fan project. It was an official product, where the old tabletop pen and paper game of The Witcher, where you could play as a woman or as a non-human, i.e., a dwarf or an elf, by being of the Cat School. Now you could say, "Oh, that was just so you could play as a woman or a non-human." It's like, okay, it's still in the lore, therefore it's canon that women can be witchers. Now, Ciri, by the time of Witcher 3, is a little old, right? She is 21. Yeah, I thought she was 19. Still, that's a little old for most people who undergo the trial of grasses. However, The trial of grasses, the age range that boys undertake this trial at, is a matter of increasing their odds of survival. Theory, however, given the powers that she has, I don't think it would be beyond the realm of possibility that her powers ensure her survivability. Right? I don't think it's an issue. Not to mention, we have had a case of somebody undergoing the trial of grasses, at least the destructive side of it, in Witcher 3. And this was an ancient elf. So we know that there's no problem with women or non-humans or adults undertaking the trial of grasses. So anybody mad about that is kind of just looking for a reason to be mad. But let's see. Traditionally, no woman has ever survived this trial. Not true. The very notion that Ciri could casually achieve this feat flies in the face. Nothing about it has been indicated to have been casual. In the books, women do not become witchers. Not true. It's simply a matter of it just hasn't happened, or it's not mentioned specifically in the book. There is no statement in the book, as far as I know, of somebody saying, no, women cannot be witchers. There is only women are not witchers, because it's either uncommon or the person talking about it has never seen one. But we do have a product, an official product that shows that women can in fact be witchers. So let us continue. This is a long-standing point of canon that fans have come to accept and respect. You know, the whole. And by the way, no, no, this is simply not true. There's plenty of contention regarding this point. Plenty of people bring up the fact that no, there are cases of female witchers of the cat school. So yeah. Yet Weber attempts to defend the choice by pointing to ambiguous textual moments. In the books, Andrzej Sapkowski called Ciri a witcher multiple times, and Ciri called Geralt, called Ciri a witcher. He said, failing to reach the straws he was grasping at. So I think that basically says that Andrzej thinks about the topic. Okay, when Geralt calls Ciri a witcher, it refers to the training, not to the transformation. Do I think that it's cool that she has a transformation? Absolutely. It'd be a boring ass Witcher game if we couldn't use potions. And she already knows how to make the potion. She just couldn't drink any of them. And even in Witcher 3, she does go out of her way to make some. I don't think she makes potions. I think she makes oils for herself to fight a werewolf and then to fight some other creatures. So yeah, I think with her magical prowess, also funny that you would use a picture from the Witcher series from Netflix, which is overall regarded as a terrible iteration of the franchise and a very disrespectful take on the series that a lot of people love. Whereas CDPR has been incredibly respectful with all of the medium that they used. I feel like CDPR has earned a little bit of trust at this point. Regardless, this argument overlooks the contextual meaning behind those references, affectionately or symbolically called the Witchers, not surviving the trial of grasses, which I think she absolutely could survive, and being physically transformed into one. Again, I think she absolutely could survive. Her body is pure magic. And not to mention, the Trial of Grasses is built from Elder Blood. Ciri is a child of Elder Blood. She already has all of that power inside of her. I don't believe that there will be any problem whatsoever with her just undertaking the trial, surviving it, and becoming a full Witcher. I don't see how this is a problem. Neutral creator decision insists the series can be a Witcher without Sapkowski's explicit endorsement feels like the developers are putting words in the author's mouth. We already have cases of female Witchers. Clemens' admission that Sapkowski is hands-off in the development process means any supposed approval is purely inferred. Okay, whatever. How much substance can there be in the lines of text when the hero walks through the woods and talks to a squirrel? Also said in reference to the games. Where's the literature in that? Where's the room for depth or sophisticated language with which games could elevate culture? There's none. Okay, see, this is kind of why Sapkowski is a very unreliable person when talking about this sort of thing, because he seems to just dislike the game's own principle. Also repeatedly noted that the Netflix series similarly never asks for or listens to any of his ideas. The show has been heavily panned for switching focus off Geralt and pivoting to Ciri and Yennefer. You miswrote Yennefer here. That's a fuck up when you're talking about somebody else's respect of the franchise. The insistence that the answer is in the books only works if one willingly misreads what those titles and phrases truly mean. Simply put, the narrative team stance treats Sapkowski's nuanced storytelling and careful world building as a buffet from which they can cherry pick convenient elements to justify a radical departure from canon. I think you're only talking about the Netflix series here. I'm pushing ahead with Series 4 switch status. Okay, look, this article is extremely maliciously written. I don't want to keep reading that. This so far felt incredibly bad faith. But let's look at this other article that some people pointed to me as important, as the senior experienced designer seems to mock fans over Witcher 4 DEI concerns. Okay, so I think that having concerns over DEI in video games is absolutely valid. Not because it makes the game bad to have the DEI stuff in it, but because in almost all situations where DEI is forced into a video game or a movie, it comes at the cost of the story's solidity. The story loses a lot of its actual edge, a lot of its realism. And when I say the realism, I don't mean with regards to our world, but with the regards to the story's own setting, right? When you have a setting where orcs are established to be violent, for example, very violent, very savage, large, and brutish, and then you make a movie in that setting, and every orc is very small, very petite, very polite, very demure, very nice to people. It creates a barrier between the setting that people know and what is being put on screen, right? Now, it's true, women are not normally witchers. However, there is a situation where the people of the cat school do recruit females and non-humans to be witchers. So it's not a hard rule of there cannot be female witchers. It's a rule of there usually aren't female witchers, but here's an exception. Okay? And let's not forget that Ciri had a cat school medallion in the book, which in the games was also represented. She would carry it around on her waist. In fact, I think you can see it right here. It's right here. Like it is on this picture that she carries the cat school medallion, right? And now she wears a lynx medallion. So the lynx medallion itself represents a school that was fan-made, didn't exist in the setting of the books, but who knows, maybe Ciri started the school herself. It's been a few years since Witcher 3. There wasn't that many Witchers, which means that monsters would likely make a resurgence, which likely means more Witchers would be required. So I don't see any problem with the idea of Ciri helping to start a new school and becoming a full Witcher. But let's read up on this one. Witcher 4 developer CD Projekt Red's senior experienced designer Max Osipovsky appeared to mock and belittle a fan on X today for expressing concern over DEI elements. Okay, let's keep going. Modern gaming industry never seems to learn its lesson. Okay, moving on from that statement. So you can, okay, Witcher 4 has entered full-scale production. I'm not excited over it, and the Witcher series is one of my favorite game series. CPR is too deep into DEI ESG bullshit. This is a very, very charged statement and absolutely deserves mockery for two reasons, right? Number one, the trailer perfectly encapsulated the exact same vibe as Witcher 3. Perfectly, perfectly encapsulated. Exact same vibe. In the first one, you have Geralt showing up, getting paid for a job, seeing what's about to happen to an innocent woman who's being hung for being a witch, and he gets off his horse, he kills two people, and he hangs the third one who was attacking the innocent woman, and then he leaves. In the Witcher 4 trailer, Ciri shows up, saves a girl from a monster, reveals that she's a full witcher, she still has her elder powers, she even has the chain with the weight at the end of it, which I hope to God actually plays a role in Witcher 4, because Geralt had that thing the whole time and he never used it in Witcher 1, 2, and 3. So I hope Ciri gets to use it in Witcher 4, but regardless. And then she goes back and she finds out that they murdered the girl anyway, and so she stands up, turns around, and you can see she's going to kill a bunch of people over that. Exact same vibe, dark fantasy, very gritty, very humans at their worst, which is the soul of Sapkowski's work. Sapkowski really likes showing humans being the absolute worst that they can be in order to show that there is the potential for goodness even when surrounded by wickedness, right? So this person saying that CDPR, who has been very respectful of the tone of the series, both in Witcher 1, 2, and 3, and when they touched on Cyberpunk, the thing that nobody could ever complain about with CDPR's work is the writing, right? Witcher 1, 2, and 3 had their problems. Witcher 1 gameplay wasn't great, but it was really good for its time. Witcher 2, they were trying to go for a new thing. The gameplay was kind of going through growing pains. Witcher 3, amazing gameplay, some graphical issues. And then Cyberpunk came out, and when it did came out, Cyberpunk was really, really, not great from a gameplay perspective. But the writing was absolutely amazing. So sitting here and saying that CDPR is too deep into DEI ESG bullshit is bullshit in itself. CDPR was almost like run through the coals by almost every media outlet when Cyberpunk was going to come out because of the poster with the transgender woman in it, with the visible bulge, which was super on brand for Cyberpunk. And somehow that's what caused people to hate on CDPR. And it was the exact opposite feeling of this. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we went to check this person. They most likely were super supportive of Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk. And Witcher 3 had trans people in it, had non-binary people in it. It even had an elf who was gender fluid. So this is a bullshit statement, and I don't blame him for clowning her. Uh, okay. Wow, that's very professional of you. You know I'm a customer and more than that, a fan of the Witcher series. And you're a senior experienced designer. Are you sexist too, telling a woman to shut up and calling her a clown? Immediate allegations along with misinterpreting. Just wow. Well, tell me what you meant by what you said then. He was probably just laughing at you because you were acting like a clown. And by the way, you just said right here that you're not gonna buy it. So you're not a customer. So I don't see how you can then say, I'm a customer, you know. No, you're not. You're not a customer because you're saying you're not gonna buy it. So yeah, I don't know. And by the way, not a single thing he said, not a single thing that Osipovsky here said was related to her being a woman at all. So her playing the woman card, kind of stupid of her. It's unclear what point Osipovsky might have been trying to make with the hand over the mouth. He's laughing at her. We're proud to receive the Diversity Charter Award for our menstrual leave benefit in the category of Innovative Approach, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in Business. Okay, again, this has nothing to do with The Witcher 4. Anyone can record complete nonsense and make a story out of it. CDPR talent leaving. We have the lowest rotation of people in recent years. DI-driven recruitment. We hire based on merit and talent alone, just as we make games driven by artistic vision alone. Why do we choose UE? Because it enables us to work, Unreal Engine, by the way, work on our games more efficiently, and we remain cutting edge tech-wise. Witcher 3's director left? Well, yeah, more than 2 years ago. Now can we stop looking for conspiracy theories and go back to making cool stuff? Yes, please. So, yeah. Okay. So, I'll be honest, all of this did nothing to make me less excited about the game. I absolutely see nothing that makes me feel like the game is going to be bad, nothing that makes me feel like CDPR is going to be bad faith about the situation, and nothing that makes me feel like they've somehow lost the plot of what fans want out of these games. I think what we're seeing here is a bunch of grifters on YouTube who most likely don't even really believe what they're saying. Well, that's kind of what grifter means. But I don't think that people really believe what they're saying when they try to imply that CDPR has suddenly gone woke when they've never been woke. People like their products. People like the games that they make because they make good games. They make good stories. They make good RPGs. And I think that because of the history that they have, they're entitled to being given a little bit of grace with regards to this stuff. And so, hey, I'll say it right here. If you're that mad about it, don't buy the game. Don't buy the game. Let other content creators talk about it. Be fucking quiet. Let the game flop if you believe it's gonna, or don't. You know? If you truly believe it's gonna be a bad game, shut the fuck up. It's that simple. Leave space for somebody who is going to like the game. Talk about games you like. Talk about stuff you're gonna like, and let us talk about the stuff we're gonna like. Regardless, this feels like a concerted effort to sabotage the game before a reason even appears to sabotage it. With that being said, though, I think I'll leave it here. Let me know what you think about this situation. Like the video, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Cheers.